Hey y'all, it's me again. I just thought I'd come check in with you, see how you're doing. If you hear a noise in the background, it's my dishwasher. I had to run it today. It's that time. Currently, I have been working a lot on the green blanket, and I mean a lot. So I've gotten a decent amount of it done. I'm fixed to move to the variegated green on it, so I'm kind of excited about that. And the blue blanket's coming along. It's at that point where it doesn't seem like it's growing any, but you know it has to be because, hello, you're putting a lot of rows in there. But one of the people who subscribed to my channel asked me if I could tell them what my favorite patterns are, and I have to say I've done a few. I think I like granny squares, just the normal granny squares. There's so many variations you can do with, so many different color combinations you can do with it. It's just limitless, and to me that's exciting because you can do anything, any color combination you want. And strangely enough, sometimes they look really good, and you're like, okay, didn't see that one coming. I love the willow square. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to do once you get used to it. And it comes out so pretty. So people don't expect it to be that pretty and that easy, but it's both. So I'm happy with that one. And then let's see. Oh, of course, you know the virus stitch because I'm sitting here doing it on a blanket. But I also did a virus and granny blanket for my daughter. And I got the idea from Jonna Martinez. Jonna, Jonna. And I think it's Martinez. She has a YouTube channel, and she showed you how to crochet a virus plus a granny shawl, and I mean a granny blanket, and I loved it. She called it German shells and granny thing, but I like it as a virus blanket. I call it a virus blanket, although I guess it could be German shells. I could be wrong about it being a virus, which would explain a lot why people don't. Yeah. Anywho, I've been doing those, and then somebody else asked, I saw a crochet grandma today, and she listed her 10 favorite yarns. Now, naturally, I'm not going to list any yarns I have not worked with yet at all, because, I mean, even if I buy them and they're absolutely gorgeous, if I haven't worked with them, not going to list them. But I will tell you some of my favorites, and of course, Red Heart Super Saver. I love any of theirs. Literally any of theirs except for the economy, because it's like really rough. But most of theirs, even though it feels a little rough, will soften up in the wash. So it's not like it's going to stay rough. And although they have jacked the prices up pretty high, what I consider high, for that kind of yarn, because it's not as though their yarn is the softest, and a lot of people are buying it for that reason, because they're not. But who you gonna, I always look for sales when it comes to that yarn, because I'm not gonna buy that yarn for full price, because they've priced themselves out. And then I like of course Lion Brand Pound of Love. I am so in love with that yarn, y'all. Let me tell you, it is so easy to crochet with. And this comes from somebody who doesn't exactly have a nice grip on her yarn while she's crocheting, but it is wonderful. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to crochet with this yarn, y'all. I think if I had my druthers, I would do Pound of Love for every blanket I ever do from now on, except, and here's when it gets tough, because I also used that when I went to Hobby Lobby. I got that Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Soft Secret. I loved it. Oh my god, I so loved it. And of course at that time I was getting enough to where if I wanted to make a blanket, I could. I got more than enough of what I thought was enough to do that blanket, and it still took 7.5 skeins to do that blanket. And those were pretty nice sized skeins. They had let me show you how much yardage they had in here. Let's see. Oh, fiddlesticks. Okay, hold on. Oh, yards, meters, 200 and... Wait, is that 200? Y'all gonna have to bear with me here. It looks like glasses is coming on. Alright, let's see. It was... Well, fiddlesticks is still 300? Yeah, 300 yards. 300 yards per skein, and I used 7.5. So that was over 2,100 yards, y'all. Close to 23. It was really up there. It was bad. That was a lot of yarn. But with that yarn, you had to use a smaller needle to make it look good. And so that's what happens, is when you use a smaller needle, you end up using a lot more yarn. So I learned my lesson there. Now, I also like the Mary Maxim Maximum Yard. I haven't done the XXL yarn yet, so I can't talk about it because I did find some really pretty colors. But anyway, their Maxim yarn is amazing. It looks like just a regular 4-weight yarn. And it looks like a very medium 4-weight yarn. It's not a very thick yarn. But when you crochet with a 6.5 needle on that thing, it is perfect. It just flies, and it looks great. So I'm really happy with that one because, yeah, it'll take a little less yarn to do a blanket with it, as well as with the Pound of Love, because I'm using a 6. So I've got a 6 and a 6.5 hook that I'm using right now, and I had to order some more hooks from Hobby Lobby, but you didn't hear that. No, that's a secret until it comes in. Then I had, of course, I've used the I Love This Cotton before, and I love that cotton. I know I said it like that, but it's true that I love this cotton. I really do love this cotton. It crochets up so good. Of course, it's also thin, and you got to use a smaller needle hook, and go like that. So it takes a little more yarn to do a simple project, like one of Bag O' Day's dish towels that hangs on the stove. So I mean, it took a lot for one, and I was like, oh my gosh, that took a lot. But yeah, it takes it. Now, don't get me wrong, I like what is that yarn? Oh, y'all gonna kill me. I can't think of it. It's a cotton. It's not Peaches and Cream. I think it's Sugar and Cream. I don't know. It's at Walmart. It's like $1.77 a skein. And I really like that yarn. It's a little rough, but it's 100% cotton. And it's not a very smooth cotton. It's a rough one, but when you get through working with it, and if you ever wash it, it's gonna nicely fly out and just settle and be a good cotton that you can use to dry out water and everything like that. It's very absorbent. I can tell you. Yeah, I spilled tea in here, and it took a whole skein just soaked it all up, because I happen to have a skein where the tea spilled. But that's another story. One yarn I did not like, and everybody else may absolutely love it, so I'm going to apologize in advance, but it's one that I didn't like, and that's that Vantage Choice. I did not like that yarn. I don't know why. It just didn't work for me. It split too much. Even using my Susan Bates hooks, which it's nearly impossible to split a yarn using Susan Bates. And that's just a fact, because it's rounded. The hooks are rounded, so you can't really poke it, and it grabs everything, because the way the hook is, it's slanted to where the hook goes way under, the yarn goes way under the needle to, you know, crochet, so it shouldn't split, but it does. Now, one that I like that they clearanced out, and y'all gonna kill me because I really do love that yarn, and I got a lot of it before, you know, they quit carrying it. But it's from Michaels, and it's called their Loops and Thread. It's their Gemstones, and I've got Tiger's Eye and a red one. I can't think of what they called it, garnet or something, I don't know. But they crochet so pretty. I made my sister a scarf with one, and it just took a skein. Well, not even a whole skein, because I just did, you know, a Call the Midwife scarf. I did 2 of the squares, so that was the width, and then I just did as many as I felt like, because she likes hers from like almost to the waist on both sides, and her torso is bigger, taller than mine, so I always had to get her to measure it. My legs are longer than hers though, so it's funny, just the way life rolls. But I did get that done, and I love that yarn. I just flat out love that yarn. And like I said, I've used Super Saver, I've used this cotton, I've used Michaels. I haven't tried a lot of different yarns lately. I mean, I've just been stuck to the old classics, although I did use Bernat Super Saver. Now, it wasn't as soft as some other yarns, but it went a long way. That yarn lasted. And then I had some gray rag. I can't remember where I got it from, but it was called rag yarn. Beautiful. It was a gray and white, and it just crocheted like a dream. Just flat out like a dream. I loved it. And but the Bernat Super Saver, I love it. I love it. I don't care if anybody else doesn't like it. I will go and order that stuff all day long and twice on Sundays, because it's great value for what you get. And, you know, I have ordered from Ice Yarns, but I didn't like the yarn I got from Ice Yarns. So I may try later. I don't know. We'll see. But that's it. I just wanted to jump on real quick and, you know, kind of tell y'all what kind of yarns I like, what kind of patterns I like. Like I said, I've been kind of stuck in, you know, virus mode for about 6 months. So I can't really keep a lot of different patterns on my head that I've done, but I've done other kinds of granny squares that I loved. One was like a diamond square, and it was so pretty. That is one that I'm working on with the king size blanket that's in my closet, and I can't work on it till I'm finished with all these blankets and the hats. Oh, the hats. Yeah. The hats. Okay, anywho. I'll let y'all get back to your day, and I'll talk to y'all again later. Have a blessed day. Enjoy it, and I wish you nothing but the best. Comment below if there's something in particular you want me to talk about, or if there's something in particular you want to know. I have no problems answering anything. And if I forget, I'll probably include it in another video, because, you know, that's me a lot. So just keep that in mind. And I will talk to y'all later, and bye.